Hello there, welcome to the channel. So it's a quick video regarding spiritual warfare. Whew, have I had experience of this one? No, honestly, I really have. And anyone who's truly following a follower of Jesus properly and give their life over, and they fully surrender their life, basically, that they're a disciple and a follower of Jesus and not just a believer in Jesus, it's like next level, because the devil doesn't have to worry about anyone he's already got. Do you get me? When you are living in habitual sin properly, whatever that might be, like alcohol, weed, fornication, whatever, and you're not aligned with God and you're not in prayers and you're just not aligned with God, then you are in the Satan's playground and he's got you hooked, yeah? So you're not hit with as much spiritual warfare. But when you are doing your best to live righteously, like I've been on this path for over 3 years, and last year is the year that I really stepped up. People who are no longer aligned for me and we're not right for each other's path, and God's telling me, get this gone, that gone. I've listened. I've, like any sins that I've been trying to sort of thingy my path, sort of like hinder my path. I've challenged them. I'm on top and things are going well. But in that process, you get hit with warfare. We know about this as Christians, yeah? So I was going through sorting some things out in my bedroom the other day, and I've come across like a lot of notebooks. And these are from like a couple of years ago even. And so I'm just going to list this, what I found. Signs of spiritual attacks. So if your life's just going along and you're obviously getting high and good and strong in the spirit because you are on fire for God and you're praying, no matter what, you're gonna get hit with spiritual warfare. That might be through a person, through finances, and through a lot of different things that can go wrong. But this is a sign that you're having a huge spiritual attack, and it's not just everyday life. Everyday life, of course, we have everyday life issues. Like you might get a cold, you might have a dip in your finances, you might have something might break in your house. But signs where you are getting truly a proper spiritual attack are: number one, loss of hunger for God. The enemy doesn't want you to have that passion. If you have a loss of hunger, like for sitting in prayer with God, loving God, receiving his love, praying properly for other people and yourself, that's a sign. Number two, physically always tired and unwell. See, this is from a few years ago, 23 this was, and I remember I just come back off holiday and I got hit massively, and I was really like unwell for quite a few days, and it was like, that's a weird time of the year to be unwell. And I remember that, yeah. So it depends, like you can't always pinpoint that, but if you have discernment, you'll know. So number three, when you see financial problems piling up, and I mean piling up, not just like, oh, this happened and now I haven't got as much money, or this thing came up and I have to pay for that. It's when it's like constant boom, boom, boom in so many directions, and you've got no discipline over your finances, that that could be an attack. Number four, so struggling with a devotional life, so a weak prayer life, it makes it so much easier if you're not praying and doing the armour of God. I do the armour of God nearly every day, and it's that spiritual protection from fiery darts, from attacks of the enemy. So if you're not doing that, a very weak prayer life, it makes it a lot easier for the enemy to just, like my most recent attack was definitely over Christmas, because I let my guard down, because I'm just like, all the days are rolling into one, and you're eating crap, and you're just trying to like sort of you just sort of slip back a bit into the world, rather than just like being as devoted to God. I'm not gonna lie, I'm human, and I was hit massively. Not gonna go into that, but yeah. Number five is, this is what I've been hit with recently, about 10 days ago. Number five, feeling super overwhelmed, is when your mental health takes a massive hit. That could be a spiritual attack. When things are sort of spiral, and you don't deal with something in the best way that you can, and you sort of like let your emotions take over a bit. That's another sign. If all these things are happening, loss of hunger for God, physically always tired and unwell, like, yeah, if you're unwell for like a day or two, but if you're like constantly tired, constantly, do you know what I mean? Struggling devotional life, like I say, feeling super overwhelmed. When old habits, this is a main one, I think. When old habits begin to make their way back into your life, you thought you were done with it, and then all of a sudden, you know, if for some reason you just let it back in, or you let a person back into your life who are no longer meant to be in your life because it's spiritually not good. And number five is when your whole life begins to knock again. That's basically the same. If things coming back from the past, trying to regain entry, that's a spiritual attack. So guys, be careful, because all of these, they're gonna have a knock-on effect in your whole life. Yeah. The way to sort of like a defense against these spiritual attacks are big prayer life. Do not neglect your prayer life, please, whatever you do. Full on faith and trust in God. Worship music, Bible reading, completely being in the Word is our protection. You know, the Word of God is a sword, and it's sharper than anything. Any two-edged sword can pierce through any bone and marrow. So yeah, you need to be, if you are born again, or just coming to God or Jesus, you need to be careful of spiritual attacks.